We're back, Chad. We are back. Sort of. And yeah, for those of you that aren't familiar, Travis is Travis is from the land down under, so when he talks about the temperature, he's speaking in sensible units, not moon landing units. So don't worry, it's not currently below freezing in Australia. Quite the opposite. Man, I just never never let anyone tell you. Well, Ernst, so here's the thing. A lot of people in the world will, laughingly or jokingly call Celsius and other metric measurements to be like the correct measurement system. I don't agree with that. So I go with sensible instead because I mean, it is a more sensible system of measurement, but I wouldn't go so far as to call it the correct unit of measure because obviously whatever unit of measure I use is the correct unit of measure. And since I do not, in fact, use Celsius, it cannot be correct, regardless of how sensible it may or may not be. And the same goes for the metric system. I do not use the metric system, therefore, it cannot objectively be the correct system of measurement. BLM, listen, I just talked about this. I just talked about this. I agree that it is a more sensible system of measurement, but it is not the system I use. Therefore, it is objectively the incorrect system. That's not hard to understand either, is it? But we'll have to disagree. We'll have to agree to disagree, BLM. Correct. Ironclad faith is goaded. Or, to put it more eloquently, belief precedes truth in all things, as evidenced by recent political events in the United States. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Either way, today's adult beverage is, in fact, just an old-fashioned, because I myself am a little old-fashioned, and I'm feeling a little old-fashioned today. So, honey old-fashioned, for those of you that don't know, I make my old-fashions pretty much the same way that you would make any other normal whiskey or bourbon old-fashioned. But rather than using simple, as most folks will do, or as most folks will suggest that you do, I use honey instead. Um, one, because I think it tastes better, and two, because I think it's healthier for you than just straight up sugar. So that's today's adult beverage, and as always, cheers! Just finished a 24-hour game-a-thon charity for cancer research. Well, how about that? I mean, I'm always in support of folks that are doing different fundraising stuff. I mean, we all know that the folks in power aren't ever going to do anything to support those kinds of organizations. So, always big love and support for folks that decide to do that kind of stuff because it's needed. It's needed. 800 pounds. I mean, that's a respectable amount of money. Can't fault you at all. And that's the thing is every penny counts. Every penny counts. Like, I know, you hear a lot of charitable organizations will say stuff like that, oh, every dime matters, every penny counts. It really does. Like, and and I'm not just saying this because of my work with charities over the years, but I also say that directly as someone who has been unemployed for a significant amount of time and only just recently found work. Like, sometimes just a tiny little bit of money is all it takes to keep the lights on, keep the water flowing. So, yeah. So big props to you, BLM, for raising that money, especially for cancer research. It's always good to see people out there. Always good to see people out there trying to make contributions. Because those folks need all the help they can get. All right, Chef. Now that I'm comfortable, let's get back into this, shall we? Let's get back into this. All right, Guilty Gear. I love you. I really do. I really do. But those A's aren't going to kill themselves. So let's get back to it. All right, chat. Here we are. Back in the Avenger. BRB over. Hopefully you got up and did what you needed to do. Hopefully everybody's comfy again. Because we are getting right back into it. We're coming right off the back of an operation. We're going to go straight back into the geoscape. And let's see what we can do. What do we got? After a recent success, members of the Resistance in New Arctic have brought us reports of activity that we may want to investigate. 6 days to gain just power for the Avenger. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. See, there's a lot of expanded events that give you things that I don't think are available in the base game, so I would assume this just gives us some more power capacity. We're currently already working on a point of interest, so I'm not going to abandon that one yet. I mean, I say that, but I can't find... Okay, here we go. Alright, chat. So, we were previously doing the gathering mob down here to do a supply raid. I think we'll continue with that, but before we do... Proving Ground or the Shadow Project. Okay. So we got 3 days until the Codex Brain. Chat, because we've unlocked the ability to go after the Chosen, I'm tempted to put the Shadow Project on hold and go back to researching powered armor. Because I think we still have like 14 days left on powered armor. I tell you what, chat, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna put the decision to you. Actually, hold up. Yes, now just finished their will conditioning. And holy shit, they got Shadow Step. Yes, now just got Shadow Step ability from her training, in addition to 8 will and 14 ability points. For those of you that don't know, Shadow Step makes you immune to Overwatch. So on top of being a zombie-killing machine, Yes now just made it impossible to have Overwatch's trigger against her. So she's getting better all the time. All the time. Since that's done, let's go ahead and continue the training. Let's see, who's available? Well, you know what? We know that Kolowski just went on a mission and he's going to be out for a little while anyway, so I think now is the perfect time to go ahead and put him in for some training. So let's see. Kolowski, because he's a shotgun user, I think either defense or mobility is going to be the best for him. Because, so for those of you that don't know, basically, dodge and defense are very similar abilities. Defense can cause you to, alright, so dodge means that they miss you completely. Defense ties into, like, the grazing mechanic. So we could either go with the dodge, or we could go with the defense, or, again, we could focus on mobility. Now, Kolowski already has 19 mobility. He has insanely high mobility. We could double down on that and give him even more. But I'll put it to you, chat. I'll put it to you. What do you think? Do we go for defense, dodge, or mobility? Yeah, if you're curious, of the two, dodge is not as good as defense. Defense is an overall thing, dodge is a very specific thing. So I'll limit it down. So either mobility or defense. Megas, he is a shotgun user. He is the shotgun user. Seems chat says defense. Chat likes defense. Alright, so be it. Defense conditioning it is. Alright, there we go. And then we get back down here. Let us continue to do the supply raid. But again, to talk about the tech, I think we should ditch the Shadow Project for now, and I think we go back to researching powered armor. Change research. Yes. God damn it.
I had fully expected to find that the aliens were conducting questionable experiments involving human captives.
So can I...
Site we raided with the help of local resistance
How do I...
operatives.
Is it not possible for me to stop this research?
More reprehensible than I could have possibly imagined. A facility
like, do I have to just... Oh, no, there it is. Pause project. Derp.
Genetic material on an industrial
Don't worry, I was going to get it
scale.
eventually, chat.
The aliens have crossed the boundaries of known science. Consequences be damned. Research is proceeding as planned.
Alright, change research. We were working on powered armor. Where is powered armor? Oh, we're already on it. Okay. So yeah, we were doing it very, very slowly because we're ahead on the research, but we still got 14 days. As I said before, I think having powered armor before we go after the first chosen is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a necessity, but I would say it will improve our chances of success pretty significantly. Because it's going to be a long fight against a literal never-ending stream of enemies, because enemies can infinitely respawn. So having the best defense that we can possibly provide is going to be very, very important. It is going to take a while, but it'll be worth it. Alright, looks like Ven has finished his psionic grading, and he is a grade 1. So, here's the thing, chat. I think grade 1 is actually the best. And I'll show you why. So let's see, if I continue training... who is next up for grading? You know what? Elijah went on the last mission, so he is gonna be out for a little while, and that'll be perfect. We'll go ahead and stick him in there. But here's why I think that grade 1 is actually the better grade. Let me see. So we got Dark Sarah, who is a grade 2, right? And I was hoping that it would scroll down. I don't understand why it's not doing that. Let me see. I don't remember where I saw it. I don't remember where I saw it. So the reason that I think that grade 1 is better than grade 2 is because when I was looking at something, and I don't remember the stat screen where I saw it, but I was looking at something, and it essentially said that grade 1 gets like a psychic power boost of like 15%, and then the grade 2 only gets like 10 to 15% or something like that, which I thought was very strange. I just can't remember where I saw that ability at. Like, it was some stat thing, and I cannot for the life of me remember where it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm thinking the grade 1s are better. Anyway, I put this to you again, chat. Anybody in chat, feel free. Go look this up. Go look this up. Try to find it. I forget the name of the mod that does this. I think it's, shit, I can't even remember now. It's like something psionica or something like that. I apologize if the mod maker is out there watching this video, watching the VOD, whatever. I cannot remember the freaking name of the mod, but somebody go look this up, because I'm genuinely curious about, like, whether grade 1 is better than 2 or 2 is better than 1. Like, I don't know if the 1 is the high end or the low end. But this, like, again, whatever random thing I was looking at, made me think that PEXM, I'm not sure what that is, Oxford. I'm not sure what that is. Let me see. I can go look it up, chat. Hold on a second. Because, like, I'm genuinely curious now. As we're actually starting to do more of our, as we're starting to do more psychic stuff, I kind of want to make sure that, like, we're treating the psychics the right way. So, here's what we'll do. I'll put on the Guilty Gear music for a second. Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. Psionic X Machina. Yes, that is the name of the mod. So I'm gonna put on the music real quick. Let me pull up Steam. I'm gonna see if it mentions on the Steam page for the mod, which is the better grade of Psychic. Because I want to know. We haven't really been using Psychics because I'm not sure which is the better one of them. Let me see. So pulling up the mod now. Let's see. Main psionic research is now unlocked by sectoid or priest autopsy. Alright, that's not great. That's not what I'm looking for. Loot tables, Willa's mana, tiered casting. Sorry, Chet, I apologize. I'm looking through the page right now, trying to see if I can find a definitive answer here. Selection of new abilities to enable the above. No, that's not it. Yeah, this is weird. Like, it doesn't say on the main mod page. Grading only affects how many times you can use Clarity of Mind. Grade is dependent of the soldier combat intelligence. So then I would assume combat intelligence being higher would mean that you're a better psychic. And that would be the assumption anyway. Yeah, there's nothing here that, like, definitively says one way or another. And when you read the description for the abilities, like, it basically says the same thing no matter what grade they are. Why are you like this? Let me see. What do we got? Nah, that's something else. Grading is, yeah, nah, I get that the grading is what allows you to use the Psyamp. What I'm trying to figure out is, like, is a grade 1 good or is it bad? Is grade 3 good or bad? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, if I compare a grade 1 and a grade 2, which is better and in what way? And so when you're saying, like, you're saying that grade is dependent on intelligence, and that it, you know, affects the clarity of mind. So, like, does a grade 1 get more uses of clarity of mind or less? I mean, I guess we can kind of answer the question through context clues, right? Alright, Guilty Gear, hold on. We can answer the question through context clues because we don't have that many psychics. So what we can do is we can go to the psychics that we do have. So we have Van, who's a dumbass, in terms of combat intelligence, and he's a grade 1. Alright. So then we have Travis, who is also a dumbass in terms of combat intelligence. And they're also a grade 1. And then we have Dark Sarah, who's the next level up. And they're a grade 2. So I think, yeah, if that's the case, then it looks like higher grade is better. Alright, so that answers that question. But it also tells us whether or not it's even worth it to give people psychic powers or do the testing, because we know that if you're a dumbass, then there's not really any point in giving you the testing because you're not going to have that high as stats. So, I guess that helps answer that question. Takes some of the randomness out of it, at the very least, which isn't a bad thing. And I think, yeah, we've only got a couple of genius level folks. Yeah, we got Nocarian is a genius. Elijah is a genius, which we actually just put him in for psionic grading. And then, incidentally, I mean, I know this isn't supposed to be a measure of overall intelligence. It's what they call combat intelligence. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm surprised that Erst is a fucking combat genius. I mean, the dude literally lives to kill aliens, so it makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Alright, well I think that solves the mystery. At least for me it does. You also have a super huge hacking score. Listen, it's not about the size of your hacking score, Erst. It's about what you do with it. And statistically, Sierra has succeeded at more hacking attempts than you have. And by more, I mean literally 1.
For the gods have many children, but
So,
the true instrument of their
I mean, if we're gonna be measuring hacking scores.
understanding of their gifts that none
Hey, Warlock, I don't. Like, this isn't free chit chat bullshit hour, buddy. Alright, there we go. That's Grendler finally finished with their training to become a sniper. Or, I'm sorry, sharpshooter. Sharpshooter. Alright. I think we're gonna have to spend a little more money on an upgraded weapon for Grendler then, because we don't currently have a mag sniper because we haven't needed one. So there we go. 50 supplies and 6 alloys for a ghost rifle. Let's go ahead and buy it. There we go. And then that will give us one upgraded sniper that we can put onto Grendler. Back to I want.
Pickings are slim, but
No, that's not what I want. I want the barracks. There we go. And Grendler with grenade launcher and sniper rifle. Let's see. What else? What other secondary equipment can we give him? Just the normal stuff. Rocket launcher. And travel light. I don't know. Chat, I don't know that a grenade launcher is a great pick for a sniper because snipers have to be relatively stationary. I feel like travel light would be the better pick for a sniper because that'll give them more mobility. So even though they can't move and shoot at the same time, at least when I do move them, they'll be able to move further. Not that one mobility is a huge change, but it's still something. I think it's more like tactical thinking versus the hacker man be standing on open field shouting at the walls, and being... That's what I mean. Like, it's not actual intelligence, it's combat intelligence, so... Interpret that how you will. Let's go with travel light for now. I feel like mobility on a sniper is a good fit. And then yeah. Wait, what? Oh, well, I didn't need to spend that money anyway because it turns out we had the experimental version that we haven't been using on anybody, and it already comes with built-in stuff, so yeah, turns out I wasted the resources on that sniper rifle, but good to know. Good to know. Yeah, Urs chooses to be a dumbass. He chooses to make bad tactical decisions in the same way that I do. I choose to make bad decisions on purpose because it's entertaining. Well, it's entertaining for most people. I know that there are some folks out there that get absolutely fucking furious if you don't make the perfect fucking decision on every move of every turn for the entire game. And I'm like, yeah, you can play perfectly, but perfect is boring. Perfect is predictable. Sometimes you gotta roll those dice and see what happens. Anyway, alright. Now we got that taken care of. Back to the geoscape, chat. Back to the geoscape. Elijah's done in about a day. We're training. Powered armor in 11 days. Alright. Yep, there we go. As expected. Because Elijah is a genius, he gets grade 4. Throw for content. Well, I wouldn't go that far, Oxford. I don't necessarily do things that are going to cause me to lose, but I definitely make suboptimal decisions when and where I think I can get away with it. Like, I'm not going to try to intentionally tank my run or my playthrough in order to entertain people, but I will absolutely do things that are suboptimal for the sake of entertainment. Let's see. I mean, Nocarian is the next person on the list with Genius. I don't even think there's a point in doing it for Erst. And for those that are unclear about why, we've already talked about this before, but in order to use psionic powers with this mod, you have to be able to use a psiamp. The problem is, mech troopers can't use psiamps. So, making Erst get his psionic grading, even though he would be a grade 4, he wouldn't actually be able to use any of those abilities because he wouldn't be able to use a psiamp. So there's no point in doing any psionic grading for Erst. Insert robot legs joke from Grandma's Boy. I have never seen... Listen, chat. I have a confession. I know some... Like, you might want to be sitting down for this. I apologize for anybody that gets offended. I have never seen Grandma's Boy. I know. I know how you're probably feeling right now after this revelation. If you feel the need to unfollow me after that, I completely understand. I know. But I just never had the desire to watch it. I've had people tell me all the time, like, oh, it's so funny, you gotta watch it, but I was just like, it's an Adam Sandler movie. I just, like, I don't really gel with, okay, I don't really gel with newer Adam Sandler stuff. Like, the old school, like, early to mid-90s Happy Madison stuff was pretty damn funny. But, like, the older stuff, or the newer stuff that came out after that, I'm kinda iffy. Well, I know he's not in it, Grumbler. I know he's not in it, but it was still produced by Happy Madison. Like, it was still the same company. It was still Adam Sandler's money, and it was still Adam Sandler's friends starring in the movie. Like, it was still absolutely an Adam Sandler movie, even if he never showed up in it. Which doesn't necessarily make the movie bad. I'm not gonna say that every movie Sandler has ever made is bad, but, like, I'm just not a huge fan of most of Adam Sandler's stuff, and so I never felt the need to watch the movie. Maybe one day I will, but I always find myself with such limited time that I don't really watch that many movies to begin with. And certainly not older movies. Like, I already have a backlog a mile long of movies that have already come out, like, in the last couple of years that I want to watch and haven't gotten around to watching. So, I mean, maybe I'll watch Grandma's Boy someday. Like, if I see it pop up on YouTube and I can get it for free or get it by watching ads, which, spoiler alert, if you have an ad blocker, you can watch those movies without ads. But yeah, like, if I see it on YouTube or something, I might watch it, but we'll have to see. So yeah, again, if you feel the need to unfollow me as a direct result of my having never watched Grandma's Boy, then I'm sorry. This'll just have to be where we part ways. That's just the way it has to be. Oh, you say that, Max, damn it. You say that. One of these days. Which, I mean, according to the company that I'm working for, they apparently pay their employees on, like, Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so I should be seeing my first paycheck because they pay weekly. So I should be seeing my first little tiny paycheck from 2 days of work. Well, 1 day of work and 1 day of orientation. By hopefully the middle of next week. We'll see how much I make for 2 days of work. It ain't gonna be much, because they're not paying me much, but again, having any money coming in at all is better than none. So I'm not gonna complain. Anyway, back to the geoscape. We're gonna turn all of our people into psychics. Alright, here we go. An argument between two large groups of men and women had erupted near an abandoned storefront. Clubs and even a few firearms were brandished as the two sides appeared set on killing one another. After deploying our forces to dissuade them from further conflict, we were able to redirect their rage towards the real enemy. Reward is a supply raid, so as suspected, this is not in fact us getting supplies, this is us getting the opportunity to go on a mission to get supplies. And XJ Phoenix roll into the chat saying, how goes the battle today? Hope you stomping some nasty alien buttocks. It's been going well so far. I hope it stays that way. We're actually about to go out on a supply raid. Homie, sweet Christ in heaven. Maybe not. Good Lord. 23 enemies to... Oh, is it because of the Lost? It might be because the Lost are on the map, chat. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 of those enemies are Advent, and 10 of them are Lost. And it's a Lost mission, which means they're basically just gonna keep spawning. Here's my problem with this. There being a sectopod on the map means that there's gonna be a lot of explosions. Also, Great Archon. Chat, is Great Archon the Archon leader? Or is that just like an upgraded version of the Archon? I don't know. I don't remember what they call the Archon ruler. Yeah, there's that too, Oxford. The sectopod, as it moves around, is just gonna basically run through all the supply chests. Operation takes place in a region far away. The alien rulers have nothing to look for here. Okay, well, never mind. If I just read the sitrep, I'd have the answer to my question. So a Great Archon is apparently just an upgraded Archon. Yeah, for sure, Ro. I mean, if we're gonna go on this mission, we are absolutely taking Yasnau, because Yasnau is a Lost killing machine. Chad, I'm not feeling great about this one, if I'm being honest. I feel like this one could potentially be a disaster. Because they're bringing a little bit of everything. They're bringing snakes, they're bringing regular Lost, they're bringing robots, like multiple robots. They're bringing Archons, which are gonna be a pain. They've got shield bearers, explosives, like they're gonna have a really wide spread of different abilities, and that's gonna be rough. Nah, fuck it. It wouldn't be untactical
Setting
if we left the
course for
mission sitting
Sector
on the table. Let's
16,
do it.
Indonesia.
Let's do it, chat. Let's go. Alright. So Erst, you're gonna sit this one out. We know we're gonna take Yes now. Elijah, I don't know why all of your equipment got stripped off. Oh, it's because you were injured, wasn't it? Or no, it's because we put you through side training. Alright, so we will drop you because you already went on a mission. We could take EW this time around. Let him get some time on the field. Let's see. Gotta get Vio out of here, give him some downtime. And we could potentially take Dark Sarah. We could potentially take Dark Sarah. They haven't gotten out on the field in a while. Let's see, who else has not been on a mission today? I mean, Jotun hasn't been on a mission, but the only problem with that is we've already got somebody with a flamethrower going. I don't want to take more than one, because that's... Flamethrowers are tough to use effectively. You gotta be very careful with them. Let's see, what abilities have we focused on for Dark Sarah? So Dark Sarah's been focusing on the hotshot tree, but we don't actually have them using a pistol. Maybe we give him a pistol? Instead of a cyan? I don't know. Decisions. Oh, you're right. Yes, now I forgot your boyfriend is currently going through training, so they're not going to be available. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because Yas now is bonded with Tribal Typhoon, and oh, he's on. Never mind, he's on the covert action, so he's out there actually trying to uncover the Chosen. I think we'll be alright. I mean, going on a mission against the Lost and not taking Yas now is just asking for trouble. Like, they make too good a combination. And then we could go shotgun, we could go travel light. I think we go shotgun. I'm pretty sure Yes now said they wanted the shotgun. You've already got pretty high mobility, but I think we give you, as before, I think we give you tracer rounds, because we want to make sure that we keep your accuracy as high as possible. Want to make sure that we guarantee those kills on the Lost. Hacker for the bots, yeah, definitely. Is Sierra ready, or is he still... Yeah, Sierra's still wounded, so we don't... Damn, we don't even have a decent hacker right now. That's another problem. Our only two designated hackers are Erst and Sierra. Erst's we just sent out on an op, and Sierra's gonna be wounded for another 6 days. So that's not good any way you slice it. Tech Sergeant. AFP. Yes, now as a Tech Sergeant. So, you may notice some weirdness in the naming conventions, where sometimes it'll call him by the Tech Sergeant, sometimes it'll call him a Major. That's because I have a mod that modifies the rank names so that they're a little more realistic, because it seems really fucking stupid that, like, at a certain point in the game, you're just rolling around with an entire squad of Majors and fucking Colonels and shit. Like, that's not how a military organization works. You don't send officers when you would send enlisted men and women. So I have a thing that changes the rank. The only problem is, it doesn't change it in every single spot, because some of those spots are hard-coded. So you may occasionally see them referred to by the OG, the vanilla rank, which I think is major at this point. So yeah, Major Tech Sergeant. Anyway, let's see. Who else are we gonna put in on this mission? I mean, a lot of our more veteran folks are kind of laid up in the infirmary at the moment. But we just got Ven out on his psychic grading, which is not going to do him much good when you consider the fact that he's a medic, and so as a direct result of that, he typically is focused on medic type stuff. But we can give him a PsyAmp. Here's what we'll do. I'm going to take the PsyAmp. Actually, you know what? Never mind, because he's a grade 1 anyway. And his will's not doing real great. So I think we'll keep him doing what he's doing. We'll give him the travel light so that he can continue to have that extra mobility. Throw on some predator armor, give you the med kit, because Ven's our medic, so of course we want him to have the med kit. Let's see, who else? Who else can we take? I mean, we may have to take some squaddies on this one. As much as I hate to do it, because, again, either that or we gotta take some people that we just took on operations. If we're gonna be up against robots, it might not be a terrible idea to either take a shadow or a sniper. Since we don't have the ability to take anybody to hack. Good to see you, Smoke Jumper. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday, and hopefully the weekend is treating you well. Always glad to have you. Man, this is rough. I didn't realize how many of our people were out on different things. Let's get... I mean, we can send in Track Tension. His accuracy's not great. But he's also relatively green. Let's put in Grendler so that we've got some long-range firepower. Put the plate armor on, and of course that's gonna mess everything up. We could give you a hacking laptop, but that's not really gonna do any good. Just give you a med kit. And then we need to adjust your customization. Where are you? There you are. Going good for my 26th day at work in a row. Good lord. Well, I won't ask what you do for a living, Smoke Jumper, but if it's anything like what your name implies, hopefully it's been relatively uneventful. Don't forget you're being hunted by a UFO. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing to consider. I hate to do it, but I think we gotta take Erst on this one. I mean, again, you guys know I like to give everybody a chance to get out there on the field, but I think we're seriously disadvantaging ourselves by not having a dedicated hacker, and we're also kind of short on actual experienced people to put on the field. I mean, the last time we took out two mech troopers on the same mission, it ended badly for pretty much everybody, including the troopers in question. So I'm a little bit concerned. So we can give you a med kit. If we're gonna bring in Erst as a hacker, then we definitely want to give him the hacking laptop. And Onyx Zero's in the chat as well. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. How's the XCOM going? It's going well so far. We're going into what I suspect will be a pretty rough mission now. How many mods are you running? Yes. Yeah, no, it's last count was about 380 total mods. So it's a pretty light mod list. Not a whole lot of mods. Work at a hospital, definitely not being quiet. Well, I mean, I would argue that depending on which hospital and what's going on, working in a hospital could absolutely be more stressful than jumping out of a plane into a wildfire. So, for those of you that don't know, a smoke jumper, at least in the US, is typically the kinds of firefighters that will actually airdrop into wildfire areas. They will usually airdrop ahead of a wildfire and try to do controlled burns ahead of the path of a wildfire to either slow or stop them from going too much further. Very, very dangerous job, but it's also a pretty cool job, in my opinion. So when I see smoke jumper, that's what I think of. And Amia Rose rolling in as well, saying first time catching a Maria stream. Well, welcome, Rose, or Amia, whichever you prefer. Always glad to have folks coming over, I assume, from the YouTube VOD land. So welcome to your first live stream. Have you gotten to clans yet? I have not. I will get around to playing clans at some point. I just buying video games has not really been a priority of mine recently. And probably won't be for the foreseeable future, because again, while I do now finally have a job, it's not a great one. So it's not like I can go slinging money around buying up video games and everything, but it's on my list of things to do. Nah, you're good, Megas. Don't worry about it. Like I said, I'll get around to playing clans eventually. I told you guys I'm gonna play it. It's just I don't know when that's gonna happen. In the US, you have a parachute firefighter. That's probably the most metal job I've ever heard. Yeah, that is actually a thing. Yes, we have paratrooper firefighters, basically. Chat, I don't know. I said before, I'm not feeling real great about this particular mission with the squad that we're taking. And that's no offense to the folks that are on the squad. It's just a lot of very scary enemies. And we have no idea what we're getting ourselves into. So this could be very, very bad. Hold on. There's one more thing that I think I could do here. Could we potentially... Is it under here? No. Oh, do we have to make them elsewhere? Shit. I was gonna see if there was a better SciAmp that we could build, but I think we have to build them in the Sci Lab, which is gonna involve having to close out of this mission and then basically come back in and do all this setup again. Blue screen rounds? We could do blue screen rounds. Maybe that's not a bad idea for Ersts. Let's see. Because I think we had an upgrade for the weapons. Click on... There we go. I thought we had an upgrade... Maybe not. I thought we had an upgrade for the mech weapons where we could put in an ammo slot. Let me see if that's transferable. Grants an ammo slot. I just saw it. There it is. Okay. Let's take that off and put something else in here. And then if I go back, free reloads is good. Laser sight increases crit chance, which isn't super important for a mech trooper. Can I now? There we go. Grants an ammo slot, and then in the ammo slot, Ah, hell, we never built blue screen rounds, chat. Shit. Do we have enough to do that? Blue screen rounds, only 75 supplies. Let's do it. Alright, there we go. We'll give our man's blue screen rounds. So Erst is gonna be our robot destroying machine. Did you research advanced psionic study? I don't think so yet. I don't think so. Actually, hit the wall in MechWarrior 5 clans because I didn't give my pilots enough evasion and they got continually pasted. So starting the run again. Well, that's good to know before I start playing. That's good to know going in, because if there's ways to soft lock yourself, then I'm glad I know that ahead of time. Not on him. Why not? Why would I not do that, Krabby Sniper? Because it, like, to me, it makes the most sense to do that to... Well, I mean, really, it would either be one of the mech troopers because of the heavy damage on the rail cannon, or potentially on the sniper rifle instead. Yeah, you're not wrong, Krabby. I didn't think about that. You got a point. You do have a point. Alright, so if that's the case... Fuck it. Take a superior scope. Actually, you know what? Never mind. We're gonna need that superior scope because I'm gonna have to change out the rifle. So, you get your laser sight back. Because the anti-material rifle has predetermined attachments, and an ammo slot is not one of them. So, we put the superior scope on to give you the aim bonus. We give you the experimental magazine, which will give you the ammo slot. And why do you... God damn it. Why can I not put this in here? Is it still registering? I bet I know what it is. I love little hiccups in the game like this, chat. I love little hiccups in the game like this. Yep. Because it was still registering that he had the fucking ammo on him because the experimental magazine is not a vanilla thing, so it doesn't work exactly the way it should. Alright, there you go. Then we can put the experimental magazine back on, and then we actually have the blue screen rounds to put in the rifle. There we go. There's another instance when I needed a direwolf but hadn't unlocked it. The first run is always shitcakes. That's true of a lot of games, I think, where, like, you go in the first time and you don't really know what you're doing, and then you almost immediately end up in situations where you're like, well, the next playthrough, I know to do this and this and this and avoid this and that. And you know, I mean, that's the same with any game. The more you play it, the better you get, because you learn how the mechanics work and all that. And you're able to better, I guess, exploit the mechanics to your benefit. Alright, Chet, I'm not feeling super great about this mission. I'm really not. But let's do it. The A's are not going to take themselves out. So sometimes we're going to have to take the risks. Sometimes we're going to have to deal with the rough missions. So Operation Dizzy Witch, which isn't quite as good as Stone Cold Hydra. But it'll do. It'll do. Your eyes? What are you talking about, Capsty? What are you talking about? Is this the flashbang that everybody's talking about? Like, is there so... I don't even... So, look. I know there's probably big white flashes on the screen. I apologize for that. That's just the way XCOM is. But, like, I'm in a bright room right now, so it doesn't even register for me. Oh, the Sky... Look. Don't you dare criticize my Sky Ranger paint job, alright, mister? I will not stand for anyone criticizing my fucking Sky Ranger. We had the kids at the local children's hospital work very hard finger painting the entire Sky Ranger with watercolor. By hand, one at a time. And you're gonna sit here and make fun of their work? That's not true. We didn't actually do that. Those kids were dead long before we got to the children's hospital. On the plus side, we did kill the aliens after we showed up. Which hopefully counts for something. Alright, well, here we go.
Position bestätigt. Ich sehe den Feind.
Okay, we got a couple of Advent troopers down there. We've also got some other stuff going on here. I'm not sure what that's about. So we got an Advent Commando and an Elite Sentry. The problem that we're gonna run into here
I'm going in.
is we have 2 mechs. And in case you didn't know, it's a little bit tough for mechs to hide. It's a little bit tough for mechs to hide, so we're gonna have to like keep them back.
We need to get moving now.
For a little while until things actually kick off. Let's see, Ven. I heard zombie noises.
Let's go.
I heard zombie noises. I don't like it.
Absolutely.
Alright, so Ernst and EW are just gonna hang back. Just gonna hang back for a minute. Can't do much with Grindler since they moved, so we'll just hunker down. Alright, are these guys gonna move? They are. They're gonna move the other direction. Alright. I don't think we're gonna have to extract from this mission, so it might not be a bad idea to just leave Grindler up here on the high ground and let them kind of just cover this whole area. The only problem is our first crate is out here, which is gonna kind of nullify Grindler's elevation. We could just continue along the line here.
Wird gemacht.
Okay, we got our eyes on that patrol again. We've also got our eyes on one of the crates. Now, of course, for those of you that are not familiar, once we actually start trying to extract the first crate, our cover is going to be blown anyway. Ideally, I would like all of our people to be in position and ready to fight when that happens.
Yes.
But we'll have to see if we get XCOM here. Alright, EW. No, not yet. I want Ven.
Go, go, go!
Well, the problem, Oxword, is because the mechs don't technically take cover like troops do, they can be seen from farther away by, you know, guys like this when they're in concealment. Like, again, once the fight actually kicks off, it's not gonna matter. But here in the beginning part of the mission, while we're trying to stay in concealment, it can absolutely screw us if we're not careful. Like, every mission is gonna break down to shooting eventually. I want us to be able to position effectively before that moment happens.
Let's move out.
And Mark is a sweetie rolling into the chat saying, "Oh, hot girl playing best strategy game." Well, I could contest both of those
Come on,
points.
let's go. What's up?
But yes, we are in fact playing XCOM 2, which I think is a fantastic game. Maybe not the best game, but it is an outstanding game. But good to see you. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday. First time chatter. Alright, so they're just gonna keep taking a walk. No, this is 2. This is 2, Mark. This is 2, but we're playing with a light mod list of about 380 mods. And one, or, well, several of the mods are to turn the sparks into mech troopers, so that might be why you're confused. Because you're seeing mech troopers and you're like, wait a minute, mech troopers is XCOM 1. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. Alright, so we could jump down here, hit this crate. The only problem is if we jump down now, they've got eyes on us. However, I do kind of like this. This whole thing that we got going on, I like quite a bit because we got a big open area here. This is a sniper's playground. So let's go ahead and move up a little bit. And I think this is probably where we're going to make our stand. So you know what? Well, we might as well hunker down. I can't fire with the sniper anyway because they already moved. And then I'll get our big mechanical boys into position. I'm thinking probably, assuming that I don't do something stupid and blunder into an enemy pod that kicks it off early, I'm thinking we're probably going to go hot on the next turn.
Move out.
Alright, let's, anybody that can Overwatch, I'll just put them on Overwatch.
Roger.
Alright, here we go. We'll go on Overwatch. Then you can go ahead and pull up front as well. Sadly, you're not going to be able to do any Overwatch. And neither is Dark Sarah because they're a psychic with a flamethrower, which is still absolutely a terrible combination in my opinion. But we're going to work with what we get. We're going to work with what we get. So I think we'll position Dark Sarah all the way down here on the end, and they can go for one of the crates. Ah, dicks and balls. That's exactly what I was afraid of. So if you didn't catch it, there's the Archon down here, and then these other 2 troopers that are with him. I'm hoping they don't walk up on us. They might, though. So it's probably not a great idea to put a person with a flamethrower on Overwatch, but I'm gonna do it. Because I'm not smart.
Let's go.
I'll get Vin moved up a little bit. Put him on Overwatch as well.
Bring it on.
We're kind of pinched between 2 pods here, so I want to make sure that we've got at least a couple of people on Overwatch in case things go south. Nothing wrong with using a flamethrower to potentially shoot at enemies coming from odd angles. You're not wrong about that, Brewster. The only problem is the way that the flamethrower can also, via area of effect, also torch your own people in an Overwatch scenario, which I have had happen to me. I'm not anxious to repeat. Alright. So the question is going to be, how do we want to kick this off? Because we have not seen underneath this elevated train line. There could be 1 or more pods underneath us that we're just not seeing. As for our priority targets, I mean, they're all kind of priority targets. The commando I'm not super worried about. The sentry are, yeah, I mean, This is the more dangerous group in my opinion. The Archon especially, but the Rocketeer with the explosives could be bad. The Shield Bearer with their temporary HP buff could also be bad. So I think of the two groups, this is the group that I'd rather take out first. Yeah, 24 health. Not to be fucked with. He is a serious damage sponge. Alright, so what I think we do is we overwatch Grendler because they've got the sniper rifle. I'll go ahead and overwatch yes. Well, hold on. I think Ven is probably the better candidate for overwatch. Pretty much no matter what we do, we're gonna get spotted if I jump down. We're not on a time limit though, so here's the other thing I'm thinking. It's not exciting, but I could wait this out and see what these pods do. But again, we're gonna get in a fight no matter what. Like it's not a it's not like we can total stealth the mission or something. Like we're gonna have to get in a fight eventually. I would just rather do it with... I would just rather do it when we're only dealing with one pod, especially when one pod is this one. But, you know what? Fucking YOLO swag.
Bestätigt. Überwachung läuft.
Who's got the bigger bone? Honestly, I think EW would probably be the best one to kick it off with. Except we can't, because reasons. If I moved a little closer, would that help? Probably not, because I think the edge here is going to block our ability to fire. So who else we could... I mean, we could... Alright. Maybe we chuck the grenade with Dark Sarah. Do some splash damage to these guys down on the ground. Shred some armor. Everybody's gonna scramble, but then that leaves our mech troopers available to put their firepower where we need it. Let's see, what do we got? We got Shining Air. Deal psi damage, blinds the target, and we have Domination. I mean, what are our actual chances of dominating any of these guys? We're looking at, like, coin flip, basically. Chad, do we take a 57% chance to dominate the Archon? Oh no, I understand that we could probably hit them with the mech troopers. I would rather keep the mech troopers in reserve because both of them have overdrive and they both have heavy firepower. So since they're gonna scramble the second we do anything anyway, I would rather keep both of our mech troopers in reserve so that they can respond to whatever the enemy does when they scramble. Alright, Dark Sarah. I don't know if you're still out there in the chat, but listen. You didn't have a great showing your first couple of missions. As a psychic, you have been underwhelming. This is your opportunity to prove me wrong. This is your opportunity to prove that it was not a mistake to bring you on this mission. You hear me, Dark Sarah? Prove to me. Use clarity first if you're gonna do that. What is clarity? Okay. We can only use this twice, though. Is this gonna increase our chances? Because I feel like this is better to use after you've used your abilities. Because, like, if it refreshes cooldowns and stuff, then wouldn't it give me another opportunity to use domination? So why would I use the clarity and then the domination instead of use the domination and then the clarity to get the domination back? Again, I'm still new at this mod, so I like, I'm not saying that in like an accusatory tone. I'm saying it because I genuinely don't know how it works. Okay, so it says gain a free use of a psionic skill and refund all psychic cooldowns. Mentally refreshing, must be used before doing anything else, but is a free action. So, okay, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're telling me to do the clarity of mind first because it will allow me to use domination for free without consuming the charge, is essentially what you're saying? Am I understanding that correctly? Got it. Okay, there we go. Now I understand. Outstanding. Thank you, Chet. So we'll use the clarity of mind since it apparently is a free ability.
I like it.
And then we'll try the domination. So, everything that I just said to Dark Sarah, I say again. Now is the time to prove your utility, Dark Sarah. If you fail me on this mission as a psychic, assuming that you survive to the end, I'm taking that psi-amp away and I'm putting a pistol in your hand instead. Here we go. Trip friend, I know you're not new here. You know better than that. All we do is gamble. Gamba, gamba, gamba.
I'm pretty good at this. You versus me?
Well... I'm not gonna pretend like I'm surprised by that.
Impeccable.
Alright, well. Now the Dark Sarah has... Wait, why do we now have... What? Now the Dark Sarah has failed miserably. Do we try it again? Fuck it. Failed one coin flip, flip the coin again. Hey, we're coming due. We already failed, right? So we're guaranteed to succeed on the second one. That's how statistics works, right? Friend aid, that is... Who is that? That's Grendler. And that was Grendler requesting the green body condom completely separate of your own request. The math don't lie. Fuck it. 99% of all gamblers quit before they win big, chat. Let's do it. Okay, there we go. Well, alright. I think we have determined, beyond the shadow of a doubt, then Dark Sarah is, in fact, the worst psychic of all time. No offense to Dark Sarah if you're out there. But I can think of at least half a dozen times that we've attempted to use psychic powers with Dark Sarah. They have succeeded precisely 0 of those times. So out of all the different times that we have used psychic abilities, Dark Sarah has never actually succeeded on a psychic check. So, I think it's fair to say Dark Sarah is fired as the team psychic. They're getting the pistol back, and we're gonna give the psi-amp to somebody else. That doesn't help us right now. That doesn't help us at this moment. And again, we're not even necessarily guaranteed that Dark Sarah is gonna survive long enough for that to be a relevant topic of discussion. But we will soon see. And there's our first lost. mean, I kind of want to start using explosives, but I also know that that's just going to draw more of them in, which I don't particularly want to do at the moment. And for some reason from here, EW can't even see the Archon because reasons. Not really sure what's going on with that. Let's see. We could shred armor if we use chip away, or we could just fire the weapon. I mean, he's not shredding any armor by firing the weapon, but if we get a good roll on it, we could most of the way kill him. Whereas by using chip away, we're doing less damage. Oh, no, we're not. It just uses more ammo. So it's the same accuracy. Yeah, I mean, fuck it. If I can chip away his armor, let's do it. EW, don't miss on this one, buddy. The last time I tried to use this ability, you missed and it got somebody killed. So please don't do that a second time. Okay, there we go. That's the armor gone. Outstanding. Now I think we bring up Erst and we pretty much just do the same thing.
On the move.
86% chance. I mean, there's still a significant chance of failure here. This is XCOM after all. But I think we take the shot. Erst, I hope you're feeling lucky. Oh, and the big time crit. Okay, clearly Erst is feeling lucky today.
Advent has already marked a couple of crates for extraction. If we move quickly, we may be able to mark them for ourselves and prevent their airlift.
Thanks, Dad. You're not really helping.
Those who wrong me pay in the end.
Okay, there's the temporary HP, which we knew was coming. Outstanding. Yeah, and of course, the Lost are going to completely ignore everything and go straight for my people, because even though I have the mod that's supposed to stop that from happening, it still happens anyway. Like, I have literally installed a mod that is supposed to stop the Lost from ignoring everything but my people, and the game is just like, actually, fuck that mod. Alright, thankfully we have Yas now. And as previously discussed, Yas now is a Lost exterminating machine. Well, that is, when the Lost don't have 25 health. But we can at least knock these smaller dudes off the pedestal. So let's go ahead and do what we can to clean that up. No, no, no. I mean, it says that's a guaranteed kill. They've got 7 health. As long as we hit, it's a kill. Alright, outstanding, outstanding. I mean, I don't think it's 25 yes now. I just, like, I'm ballparking it. I just saw a lot of pips. So for those of you that don't understand why I say that Yas now is a Lost killing machine, they have a unique combination of abilities that makes them perfect for killing the Lost. The first is we have the order that makes every shot against the Lost a headshot. In other words, as long as we get the kill on them, it counts as the free, like, refund your action, okay? Then, on Yas now specifically, we have, let me see, I think it's this ability? No, maybe not. Which ability is it? XCOM, are you gonna show me the ability? You're not gonna show me the ability. Okay, well anyway, she also has an ability that basically anytime she gets a kill, it refunds the ammo for that kill. So that means that as long as she is shooting at Lost, Yasno can just sit there and kill them infinitely forever. As long as they have low enough health, Yasno can kill every Lost on the screen. Every turn. So as long as she's here, we can clean up any amount of Lost, again, as long as her health is low enough. And it makes her extremely useful in situations like this. Thought they could one tap regardless of health. Possibly. I don't necessarily want to test that theory until I'm down to the brute. Okay, what do we got? The only thing we've got left is the brute. Alright, so we'll test the theory. We'll test the theory. If this kills them, then yes, we're basically able to one-tap every Lost. If it doesn't, well, hey, at least we're doing a big chunk of damage. Well, that's good to know. Let's see, if we did a point blank, it's only 33% chance and we don't gain that much damage out of the process, so I'm not super worried about that. 100% chance to hit, only 15% chance to graze, no crit chance. I mean, it's not the best shot in the world, but it's a shot. We could go for the commando instead, but we got lower chances to hit. I'd rather focus down enemies that are already hurt. Maybe we come back to Yas now, and Jesus Christ, Grundler's already almost dead. Fuck's sake.
This will heal you.
Go ahead and fall back then, before you get yourself got. I mean, that would be perfectly in keeping with the way that this run has been going, for me to put a new soldier in on a mission, have them go out, fire one shot, and then die. I think that would be absolutely in keeping with the way that this run has been going overall. Unfortunately, we're gonna lose some of these supply containers because I ain't getting down off of my high ground until it's relatively clear. And it looks like the Archon is the only one we're gonna be able to put any hurt on. So let's do it. Actually, you know what? What do we got? Siphon Will. We could do that, but nah. I'm just gonna set the Archon on fire. Wait, what? How? How are we gonna get friendly fire from that exactly? I'm a little bit confused. So if I shoot down here, how are we friendly firing exactly?
Big one? They're my specialty.
Yeah, I was about to say, it shouldn't be friendly firing. I don't understand why I was saying that. Alright, yes, no, again. We got EW. I mean, we could take a shot. Now might be a good opportunity for overdrive. Just try to clear the field. We got Vin out here as well. What are your shot? Or what's your odds to hit? 95%. Well, 95 is basically a guaranteed miss in terms of XCOM. Does fire prevent Archon from meleeing? I don't think so. I don't think that fire prevents the Archon from doing anything. Send me down to clear the way. We could do that. We could do that. I mean, I'm tempted. We do kind of need some intel about, like, what's down here. And Ernst is always volunteering to get stuck into the middle of shit. So you'd have flanking shots on multiple enemies if we put you here. Of course, not the Archon, because you can't flank an Archon, but... Let's just move you down here first, and then we can decide if it's worth it to go with the overdrive. Based on what we see. Okay, no loss. And just these 3 enemies. So then the question is... Yeah, I know it's tempting to use rockets in this scenario, but again, the more that we use explosives, the more lost we're gonna draw in, and that's gonna make this mission harder. And Einhander 2K6 gifting 10 subs to the community. If you got gifted a sub, thank you for, well, first of all, thank you, Einhander, for the massive generosity and the massive chicken. And of course, if you got gifted a sub by this insanely generous individual, be sure to thank them. And as always, welcome to the Cult of Bad Tactical Decisions, where we have only one flavor of Kool-Aid, but it is Ecto Cooler. And again, thank you, Einhander, for the 10 gifted subs. And we're gonna we're gonna play Einhander one day, chat. On stream, we're gonna play Einhander. I promise. I just have to find a way to get PS1 files to work on a PS2 emulator. Either that or I have to go download a PS1 emulator. I haven't done that yet. I'm lazy. Sue me. But we're gonna play Einhander someday. We absolutely will. Rush me to the loot and then overdrive. I don't know if the loot's worth it, to be honest. Because honestly, I'd rather grab the crate, but I don't think you can. I don't know if mech troopers can actually grab the crate. Yeah, loot is a free action. That's not my concern. My concern is if I want to use overdrive, I'd rather be using it to do as much damage as possible. I mean, we could send EW down as well, put both of our mech troopers down here, have them both use overdrive, and just lay the herd on as thick as we possibly can. Let me see. Erst, do you shred? You do not, I don't think. No, you don't. Okay, so neither of our mech troopers shreds when they shoot. Yeah, there's still a sectopod. There's that to consider as well. Alright, so here's what we'll do. Let's grab EW. So we got EW, we got Vin. We still got Yas now, who's basically still got all of their actions because they were just killing Lost. So let's get EW down here.
Let's go.
And then, if I was to tell you to kinetic strike, you could do it. It does 9 damage, which will get rid of most of his additional armor, but it's also going to put us in a position of... Alright, so here's what we do. We're going to overdrive. Ever played Xenoblade Chronicles? I have not. So we do the kinetic strike, we're guaranteed 9 damage. If we fire the weapon, we're not guaranteed 9 damage, but we do have the possibility of critting at 60%. So if we do crit on a high roll, we're good. Then again, I feel like the commando is the bigger threat. Like, the shield bearer is annoying because they provide temporary HP and they're tanky, but I feel like the commando is actually the bigger threat. Like, in terms of damage and the abilities that they have, I feel like they're the bigger threat. Less chance to crit, though. It's a coin flip. Let's do it. Fuck it. And again, like... I'm running the risk of analysis paralysis here, and I'm trying not to do that. So let's take the free reload. And then I think we take another big chunk out of you. Alright, that gets rid of all of your temporary HP. Now, Vin, can you wing this shot? 66%. Alright, if we moved you a little bit closer, would that give you better chances?
Go, go, go!
Put you here, and then if I took the shot, 74? It's not terrible. Don't fail me now, Vin. Don't fail me now. Alright, there we go. That's another one off the field. Now, Erst, we haven't even used overdrive on yet. So we can go ahead and overdrive him. Take this shot. Okay, apparently my man's is angry. Very fucking angry. And now that we have the free move, yeah, I guess we go for the loot. My fear is that we're gonna trigger another pod by walking over here. But... fuck it.
Move it out!
If anybody's gonna be able to tank the damage, it'll be Erst. And we got an advanced laser sight and some meld. Not a great loot pickup.
Thanks.
But at least we know now. At least we know. Alright, so Yas now is actually a great fit for this for a couple of reasons. Not only because she still has all of her actions, but because as a Marauder, she can fire 2 times in a row as long as we don't move. And I fully intend to do exactly that. It's not going to give us a kill on the Archon, but it will allow us to put some damage on it. Yeah, what she said. Alright, there we go. I would have preferred that first hit to not be a graze, but you know what? I'll take what we can get. Save the crate. I would love to save the crate, but again, we didn't have the ability to get to either of those crates, and because you have to get there and still have an action left
We're gonna have to
over.
move fast if we want to get the rest.
So there was no way to get to the crate unless we used maybe Erst, but I don't know if Erst can. I don't know if mech troopers can actually activate the crates. Is the problem. Marking is a free action, but you can't do it at the end of your turn, is the problem.
Well, look at that.
Like, it's a free action, but you have to have an action available to initiate it. It's not like evac. Like, you know, you can evac and sprint into the evac zone and then immediately end an evac. But when you get up to the container, you have to have an action to actually do the container. Like, it doesn't cost you an action, but you have to have an action to do it. If that makes sense.